There are paths the world avoids, paths too quiet, too uncertain, too lonely, and yet I walk them. Not because I enjoy the solitude, but because I trust it, because I have learned this truth. The strong do not seek crowds, they do not crave the noise, they walk alone, because that is where power lives. Part 1. The crowd is comfort, not clarity. The world teaches you early. That value lies in how many follow you, how loud your laughter is, how many eyes turn when you speak. But I have seen behind the curtain. The crowd does not love you. The crowd consumes you, and when it's finished, it forgets. Most people are not surrounded because they are strong. They are surrounded because they are afraid to be alone. They mistake presence for purpose. They drown in affirmation to silence their own doubts. But I chose the opposite. I chose solitude. Not because it was easy, but because it was clean. Because when no one is watching, you discover who you actually are. Part 2. Loneliness isn't weakness, it's weaponry. They call it loneliness. I call it training. They see me walk alone and assume exile. But what they do not see are the weights I carry in silence. Every step I take away from the crowd, I take toward mastery. Alone is where you meet resistance, where you battle the versions of yourself that comfort tried to protect. Alone is where the mind sharpens, where instinct replaces noise, where silence becomes a sword. The weak fear it, the average resent it, but the strong choose it, because they understand. Loneliness isn't emptiness, it's preparation. Part 3. Why the strong walk alone. If you truly carry power, real, unsettling, undeniable power, you will not be welcomed. You will be avoided, misunderstood, feared, because your presence exposes their illusions. Power does not ask to be seen. It does not beg for recognition. It simply is. And that terrifies them. That is why the strong walk alone. Not because they must, but because they cannot walk with those who fear their silence. They have outgrown the crowd's pace. Their thoughts are too heavy for shallow minds. Their vision, too wide for small talk. So they leave, quietly, deliberately, permanently. Part 4. What you find on the path alone. When you stop walking with others, you start walking with yourself, and that is where you begin to notice the subtle shift in your breath, the sound of your instincts, the whisper of your intuition, no longer distracted by performance. You become attuned to truth. You learn who you trust, what matters, what you're willing to fight for, and what you're willing to walk away from. The crowd distracts you with motion, but the solitary path gives you momentum, and that momentum is yours alone. Part 5. The final truth. Walk alone, rule quietly. They will never understand your silence. They will question your absence. They will mock your distance. Let them. They do not know what it takes to carry your own path. They have never sat with their thoughts until they screamed, and then gone deeper still. You walk alone not to disappear, but to become. And when the time comes to return, you will not seek their validation. You will not need their applause, because in solitude, you earned something far greater: sovereignty, the ability to stand alone and remain whole. That is power. That is peace. That is the path the world avoids. But I walked it. And if you have the will, so will you. Part 6. Crowds seek comfort. Warriors seek clarity. The crowd moves toward comfort because comfort is easy. It lulls the mind. It silences the hard questions. But a warrior walks alone because clarity is never found in comfort. When you walk without the distraction of many voices, you begin to see yourself clearly. Your flaws, your strengths, your purpose. Comfort disguises itself as safety, but in truth, it is a slow death. To walk alone is to strip yourself bare, to face the brutal mirror of solitude, and to emerge sharpened, not softened. The strong do not seek comfort. They seek the truth, even when it cuts. Part 7. Why the world fears the one who walked alone. When you return from solitude, you are no longer the same. Your silence will unsettle them. Your calm will provoke them. Your strength, earned through suffering, will be mistaken for arrogance, because they cannot understand what you've endured. They cannot comprehend a strength not borrowed from applause. They fear the one who no longer needs them, and so they will call you cold. They will say you changed. They are right. You have. You chose the harder road. You chose to walk alone into your own darkness and return carrying a light no crowd could ever give you. And that is the price and the reward of true power. Now you know, a truth not meant for all, but for those who can carry its weight. I do not ask for agreement or understanding, only awareness. The world will keep spinning, the masks will remain, but you have seen what lies beneath them. Return to the silence when you are ready. I will be here, beneath the rain, watching, waiting, until the next shadow reveals itself.